Hello, this is Transformers fan G138, and I'm here with a video review of Transformers Generations Blitzwing. And honestly, this guy is neat. He's got some issues, and I'll talk about him. Still a nice figure to have, but he's definitely got some issues. If you haven't already heard about the complaints, then I have no idea where you've been hiding under, but yeah, there's some issues with this guy. So to start off, in tank mode, he rolls okay, surprisingly, with these hard plastic wheels. I'm actually quite impressed at how well he rolls. The tank itself, I would like to see a little bit narrower and longer, just because this seems like a very small, squat, short tank. I don't like it. I would like a Transformer tank to actually look like a tank. For once. I mean, yeah, you can take it. It's a Cybertronian tank or whatever. But it's overall just not a good tank. Also, the turret does spin, or rotate, but it rotates up here instead of back here. So it's not... The whole gun turret should sit further up, and the whole thing should go back, and this whole turntable should be back here. However, considering that this is a triple changer, and he does actually have 3 modes, and they work fairly well, I have to say they did a decent job. They did a much better job on Springer, which I think that was the intent. Do a better job on Springer. But overall, it's not a too terrible toy. It's not the best. Much better than the animated one, in my opinion. A lot of people disagree with me, though. I just don't like their style. But anyway, so he's got some accessories here that are clipped on. The sword, which is now on the floor here, which can kind of peg anywhere. It's decent. I wish it was longer. This is great for deluxe sized toy. However, this is a Voyager class toy. Needs to be a little bit longer. Kind of like, what's his name? Springer. He's also got a rifle, which is also a little too small. Kind of needs to be a little bit larger. This is more like a pistol when he's holding it, but whatever. So this guy definitely has some issues. Yeah, so the tank mode, there's a lot of holes in it, where Springer's main issue is he doesn't peg together quite 100%, but he at least has a lot less holes. This guy kind of looks like that shot of the Transformer in the video, in the first Transformers movie there, they used it as the teaser trailer, the Mars rover there, looking up, and you can see it. You can see all the light through the Transformer. That's pretty much the vibe I get from this. Not quite movie style, but I get the... He's empty. Like, I can see my hand clearly right through it in many areas. So, anyway. Yeah. I've never seen this much paint on a figure. Like, hardly ever I've seen this much paint. I don't know why. Because Hasbro, every time I go to a panel or something, they're always complaining how little paint they can use. This guy's got, like, a lot of it. Just, yeah. So another feature of the tank mode, you pull back the barrel, and the missile launches. Not with great velocity, but it's decent. Whatever. Probably going in a box somewhere. Because I keep triggering it, because you just push this in and it launches. It does have some rotation here, not much. These panels kind of get in the way. So yeah, let's do some transformation. So to turn it into jet mode, it's actually fairly simple from this point. Yeah, fairly simple. Right. So first we want to do is unpeg the legs, or the side panels, tread things. Now, want to unpeg these, flip these panels into here, fold this up, and press that in so it's out of the way. Here, we want to take this wing, and underneath there's this little swivel here that pulls out and fills in more of the wing. Honestly, it's not that much more. There we go. Pull it all the way out, and it fills in more there. Like that. So it's decent. It's not great, but whatever. This will rotate this way. And this will rotate this way. And you can move this wing whichever way afterward. So there's some display options, which is nice. Do the same thing on this side. Like this. I want to take the front, collapse these pieces in, and then these tabs here will tab into these holes here. They kind of have to go up and in, which is kind of weird, but whatever. We'll go with it. And once those are in, you can finish placing these wings wherever. Next, we'll come down here, flip this panel out, which is kind of cool. This panel comes up, and then we'll go into the hole here. Now, the nose cone is another significant issue, but I'll touch on that in a little bit. First, let's finish the transformation. Flip these out, take the gun, pop it up, swing it around. Yeah, it's getting away. Put it under here, and kind of sticks out the back. Unpeg these, rotate them, and peg them back in the exact same spot. Unpeg this part from here, rotate it around, and peg this part into here. And as you can tell, that leaves this huge wide open space here. Hello, is there supposed to be something there? No, not at all. So it's a decent thing. You can kind of tilt these up. It's a decent looking plane. Give it that. It's kind of a little whimsical. It's pretty close to the comic book. Also, these peg in back here too. I kind of forgot about that. That way, that doesn't rotate. So it's a decent jet. It's not terrible, but you can still see through the backside. Which is why you can plug the sword into here. Looks a little weird, but it does fill in a little bit. It helps fill in a little bit there. Then you end up with this peg type thing here. And then you can peg the gun into the sword. Looks a little ridiculous. If you had two of these, you could peg them into the sides here and they wouldn't look strange. Or under the wings, because there's also peg holes there. But again, it looks just weird with just one. So I might do something on Shapeways or 3D printing for that. So yeah, it's decent. It's got these built-in landing gear, but as these entire panels are painted, this tan beige color, I wouldn't use it as landing gear. Like, straight out of the package, there's already a piece of paint there that's been taken out. And then the front landing gear is just a plastic thing. So I wouldn't like run it along the counter or desktop or anything for that matter, just because of the paint issue. But yeah, it's still a nice looking jet. A little bit of a Cybertronian style thing, I guess that's what they're going for. In the Thundercracker comic, this is exactly how he looked. But then again, the Thundercracker comic is a spotlight from IDW designed to package in toys. So it's not what's the word I'm looking for? Not unusual, but that's not the term. Doesn't surprise me that this mold showed up in the comic book, especially with the rest of the stuff they're playing at. Like, the Megatron, the Bumblebee, the other stuff too. I wouldn't be surprised if they re-released Drift, packaged with a comic book. With the Spotlight Drift or something. I would buy that in an instant, by the way, if any Hasbro employees are watching. Just because Drift's my man. So yeah, this is good. Decent jet. Now let's get into the robot mode. So let's get rid of this sword. So, we'll want to flip these up. And I'd like to point out right now that this gray piece here is paint, and this elbow gray piece is plastic. Why couldn't they just... I don't know. I don't know the diagrams. I don't know the reasons why they chose these. I just know they did. But I'm like, there's a lot of paint on this guy that just looks like it shouldn't be there. So I'm going to just go ahead, unpeg everything, practically. And we'll start there. And I did not realize that just broke. Lovely. It looks like it was glued on, but whatever. So that comes off apparently. Be careful. Okay, so that's all good. So we'll start by pushing the head up. Oh, the nose cone issue. This whole thing is rubber, and the head is on a spring. So the head tends to press on this and making it curve down. Oh, I've only noticed a problem with it when the temperature is warm. So if you're in a cold climate like I am, it tends to be a bit better. But honestly, I bought it for the robot mode and not jet mode, so it doesn't bother me that much. Of the complaints I have, that's a minor one. Although I would like to see a nice hard nose cone that didn't bend, but whatever. So these shoulders will just kind of unfold down. Don't worry about pegging them in because they won't stay. Just rotate these around. Flip. This is the cool part. I like these. On the hand, these things fold in and into the empty hole here in his arm. And then his hand rotates from there, which I think is kind of cool. Let's do this, because I'm not sure if you even saw the shoulders. So the shoulders start like this, they go in. Right. So, then we turn this, put the wing back into the leg a little bit, not a lot. We won't pop it out completely, but enough. We'll kind of play around with feet. Open them up. And we'll flip this up there, out of the way. I do have to say, though, this guy has a lot more foot movement than... wow. Springer. I'll give it that right off the bat. And I like the posability in this figure. However, he's got some issues. Every Transformer has issues, but... no. And this just locks into back here. Transform this arm, same way as the other one. And... here we go. Here, Blitzwing is in robot mode. A lot of people like flipping this gun down and keeping it down here. Or technically flipping this up and putting the gun down like this. I don't like that. I see it from here and it irritates me. I'd rather have it up over his back. Personally, I like this. I don't know why, I just do. personal preference there. This is the way the instructions show you how to do it. I've noticed this leg for me is loose. Actually, this one's nice and tight. It's just the forward and backward on this one. But let's start with articulation. Foot, ball and socket joint, 2 hinges. Wing is on a ball and socket joint. Knee, over 90-degree hinge. Friction only, nothing more. Friction hinge here and here. And it's weird the way they did it because it pulls out like that, but it's for transformation stuff. No waist swivel, obviously. They need that for the transformation. Arms up and down. Elbow rotates. Hand swivel. So it's got decent mobility. And this is where a lot of people are having issues. Because these here, these holes here are supposed to peg in back to here. However, they don't stay in there. I mean, if you press on the front, they stay pretty good, but not indefinitely. A lot of people have come up with ways to fix it. I'm going to leave it as is because it's going to look nice on my shelf regardless. If I was doing stop motion or playing around with this, it would be irritating. Anyway, so you can get some decent poses out of here. His sword, it's awesome looking. Fits in his hand, rotates. This peg gets in the way a little bit, but not too much. Sword cool. Gun's not bad. Gun pegs in here. The gun gets a little more affected by the arm. Like, he can barely hold it. It barely fits into his wrist. Unless you plug it in like this, which is kind of weird. But, whatever. I suppose you could also plug it in over here, like this. But, anyway. He can barely hold the handle, but he does. So, it's not too big of a deal. Okay, so, like, poses, kind of cool. You can get some really neat poses with the way this guy's legs work. And he's got so much movement in the feet, you can really pull off some crazy stuff. Now, like I said before, this guy's loaded with paint. These gray pieces on his kneecap, paint. 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 This entire panel here, paint. His entire yellow on his head, that's paint. All these red and silver decals, paint. Paint on the nose cone. Literally, I've never seen purple paint here. I've never seen this much paint on a figure. It's insane the amount of paint. I'm like, I don't know why Hasbro complains about using too much paint and then goes ahead and does something like this. I don't know. Maybe it was cheaper for this particular project for whatever reason. I don't know. Anyway, do love the looks of this guy. He looks nice in robot mode. Functionality, it's terrible. Alternate modes, not as good. If you're only going to get one of the two triple changers, or 3 once you throw in Sandstorm, go with Springer. Hands down, Springer's the better figure. No arguments. This guy, if you want a nice looking Blitzwing for a shelf piece, very good. Highly recommend. And I haven't covered one of the features, which, you know, sorry. Oh, and the cockpit opens for whatever reason. Well, and that's paint inside too. So he does have this feature from, like, reference to the animated version. Literally, his face can flip to the 3 different personality faces. There's his science face, logic face, crazy face, and my personal favorite, the Generation 1 face. So I'm going with this one all the time. I don't mind the character in animated, but I didn't like his design. Like, I don't like the looks of the animated figures. It's just, I didn't like them. They might have been good toys engineering-wise. I just did not like the designs. I don't like that style of art. I like this kind of art. I like the not quite realistic, but not... Like, this looks like a robot. It's got nice boxy proportions. It's not like got the 3 sizes too big head and the really tiny limbs. And no, does not work for me. I like my stuff nice and proportionate with hard lines, none of that junky curve crap. Anyway, recommendation, if you really want a Blitzwing in your collection, like I did, get it. Absolutely get it. Because you probably will never find another triple changing Blitzwing ever. Or not for a really long time. Or a third party company. I don't know. This guy like gets no love at all. Seriously, I googled it and literally he's got like 3 toys. Including the animated one. So, I could be wrong, so don't quote me on that. I just googled it quickly. Literally, besides the original, this is pretty good. I mean, this is better than the original in my opinion. I mean, not because it's like the original, but as far as like if the original came out right now, this beats that. But when you throw in nostalgia, the original probably beats this one. I don't have the original. Never, well, did at once. Couldn't figure out how to transform it. I think it was broken. Threw it away at some point, I think. I don't know. I was like 4. Anyway, point being, this was cool. I like this guy. It looks great on my shelf. It's right in proportion with the other generation's Voyagers. When you put them next to the deluxe class scale stuff, like the Megatron and the deluxe class Soundwave, this guy looks really large and they look really tiny. However, thrown up to other Voyager classes, this guy looks right in proportion. Kind of want a nice Voyager-sized Megatron that's decent. Well, that's all I have on this figure. Hope you enjoyed. Thanks for watching. Hope my recommendations to you are good. Yeah, but honestly, if you're like, on this figure, honestly, I got it because I know I'd regret it if I didn't. I know the problems, but honestly, I think it looks great on the shelf. If you're intending to do stop motions, either mod the shoulders or don't get the figure. And that's that. So, without further ado, thanks for watching. See you around.